Hello, Sagittarius, welcome to today's reading. Thank you so much for being here, for your presence, your likes and your beautiful comments. Sagittarius, you are the owner of your own future, and you're the one who builds it. Take from this whatever resonates with what you want to manifest, or whatever feels like it speaks to what you're going through right now, and let the rest go. This is a general reading, so you can watch it whenever you like, and if you want, you can also read it alongside your rising or moon sign. Let's channel some messages now from your guides, teachers or ancestors, depending on what you're manifesting, thinking or feeling. I know this might sound sudden for some of you, but if something happened to you recently, something a little controversial that you're still wrestling with, or that's simply worrying you, and you feel like it deserves your full attention even though you haven't quite managed to give it that yet, this reading is for you. Maybe something happened in general and you feel responsible for fixing it. I see this with the Seven of Wands here. What your cards show me is that this is actually going to close out well, and I'm telling you that right from the start because you need to know it in order for it to happen. Predictively, your cards show that you almost need to know today that, broadly speaking, things will turn out fine, so that you can gather your courage and face the situation better. Sagittarius, you have the World here. This shows me you're genuinely capable of looking the situation straight in the eye, grabbing the bull by the horns, and closing this out for the most part. The cards tell you to look at this from a wide, broad perspective rather than getting lost in details, because that would just waste your time and isn't what serves you right now. Go straight to the root of the problem. Don't dance around it by talking to secondary people involved. If you can go directly to the person you need to resolve this with, the one who can actually hand you the solution, do that instead of circling the issue. Avoiding the root just makes things drag on longer. The World also invites you to close this chapter now rather than looking away or putting it off. If you feel ready today, as the Seven of Wands suggests, you'll succeed, because postponing it will only make you imagine it as bigger and more overwhelming than it really is. If you have the emotional and material resources right now, face it directly and close it out. Predictively, this is something you haven't been able to avoid, something you have to look in the eye. But your cards speak of the best possible outcome here. The World could show the best resolution of this circumstance, and you also have the Empress, which tells me you're going to get your lost enthusiasm back, your vitality, your energy, once this closes. You'll start taking care of yourself again, your appearance, your posture, your physical presence. I feel like this situation has been wearing you down, maybe affecting your sleep, exercise or eating habits, and once it's resolved, people around you will notice the change in your face, your energy, even the way you speak and carry yourself. Now, there's something else connected to this. I feel these cards are here to tune into your energy and reveal a few hidden things that may soon come to light. First, this Queen of Cups looks suspicious to me. She points to a woman connected to this situation, someone you'll likely stop paying attention to after this, or who will simply leave your life. Maybe she was pleasant at first, and things turned tense later, and now that she's tied up in this matter, you need to close things out so each of you goes your own way. I also see the Fool here, which tells me this person seemed cheerful and good at first, but not so much anymore. There's a selfish undertone now, as if a hidden side of her personality has surfaced. Either way, the cards show she'll eventually move on her own path, and you'll get your energy back. If none of this resonates with a woman specifically, it may instead point to something in your home, or something more personal, your health, for instance. Some of you may be working on strengthening your immune system right now, which is what the Seven of Wands can also mean. Even if you don't consciously notice a person acting this way toward you, the cards are uncovering it. Someone who, energetically, wasn't exactly hoping you'd get past this easily. You might be so focused on taking action and solving the problem that you haven't noticed this other person's energy, but the cards won't let that go unmentioned. Pulling another card to understand this person's intention, the Knight of Wands appears. It seems like this person wants to move fast in their own life, and having you stuck in this situation for longer served that purpose. It's not personal against you, they're simply looking out for their own benefit. As you resolve your own matters and close this cycle, this person will be exposed to and will have to take a different path, and eventually you'll each go your own way. This could also point to someone with a competitive streak toward you at work, someone indirectly competing with you, or someone who makes you doubt your own ideas and plans while quietly doing the very things you hesitate to do. Don't worry about it, just focus on yourself. Bringing hidden intentions into the light usually drains their power, because concealment is what lets negativity grow. Once something is exposed, the conscious mind starts to act on it. If this rings a bell for you with someone in your life, someone who makes you doubt your own power or seems to be deliberately slowing you down, ignore it. It's not worth arguing with this person unless it's truly necessary. Just move forward. I'm also sensing something that has broken energetically, blocks, delays, excessive doubt. The Seven of Cups points to overthinking, second-guessing things you already knew deep down, going back over the obvious again and again. Someone, as mentioned, seemed to benefit from you doubting yourself, and that pattern is now ending. The Knight of Swords shows a guardian, a protector fighting on your side, breaking this cycle. Even the universe itself seems to be pushing you forward. Sometimes life just nudges you toward taking that leap, and you're destined for success here, even though you still have to face it head-on. Pulling more cards now, something about your home. I see your home becoming more beautiful, and I see you finding peace there energetically. Maybe you haven't been enjoying your home enough lately, feeling restless or stressed there instead of at ease, and home should be the opposite, a safe place to relax with your coffee, your plants, your shows. If it hasn't felt that way and there's no obvious cause like conflict with roommates, it points to something energetic, and it looks like you're already taking steps to fix it. Clear things out, make your space simpler, calmer, easier to move through. The Queen of Pentacles shows that every small act of care for your space adds up and helps you enjoy it more. If you already feel good at home, then abundance is flowing in. People visiting you these days will bring good energy, people who genuinely wish you well and are willing to listen. Material abundance is coming too. Something more spiritual or artistic than technological, maybe a decoration for your wall, something inspiring and vocational. For some of you it's about protecting your privacy at home, a room divider, curtains, something that shields your space a bit from neighbors. Pulling more cards, the Knight of Pentacles, and a King of Swords, an intelligent, quieter person who's been holding things in lately, likely due to stress, but who cares about you deeply. This person will be helpful to you these days, hardworking, kind most of the time, though a bit introverted and hyper-focused when working on their own projects, not wanting interruptions. The Nine of Cups shows good intentions here. This person could become like a right hand to you, helping you reach your bigger ambitions or home renovations. There's also a romantic undertone here with Temperance and the Two of Cups. If you're in a relationship, this shows how much your partner cares for you, with no competitiveness between you, only support. If you're single, this points to someone intellectual, genuinely interesting, mentally sharp, responsible and hardworking, shown by the Knight of Pentacles. This is the type of connection heading your way. Signs that stand out in your reading: Leo, Capricorn, Aquarius, Libra, Taurus, Cancer, and your own sign, along with Scorpio. These are the signs showing up most useful for identifying people by sun or rising sign. Capricorn especially keeps appearing. Letters coming through P, C, H, V, Z, I, and also O, N and perhaps a name, surname or nickname that connects for you, or anything else that feels like a sign right now. For an oracle color today, blue. Your deck leans very blue overall, so take this with that in mind. You may receive a blue gift that means a lot to you, and wearing blue could feel good, but mainly if you're already in a good mood. Blue is a cool, restful color, so if you've been feeling a bit low, green might serve you better right now, since it's better to stay active, walk, exercise, breathe, when you're down. Still, don't rule out receiving something blue as a kind of lucky charm. Green also shows up here with the Empress card, meaning someone will honor a commitment made with you, and matters already agreed upon will go smoothly. Numbers appearing 3, 4, 34, or 3 and 4 separately, pay attention if these mean something to you, as someone may be reaching out more directly soon. Mars in Aries also shows up, which is a strong sign, along with the 11th house. If you're currently feeling out of place with your social circle, not quite fitting in where you are, it's not about one particular person but the environment itself. Any plans to travel, change scenery or shift your surroundings could really work out well for you. Lastly, try to avoid unnecessary conflict with strangers. Arguments in comments or on apps rarely lead anywhere good, unless you genuinely have the time and motivation for that kind of debate. As a fire sign, you love facing things head-on, but here it's smarter to choose where you spend your energy. If a disagreement does come up with someone you don't know well, don't take it too personally, and know that you have every chance to simply step away from it. May the universe be on your side, and may wonderful things come your way. Sagittarius, before we go, I want to give you something extra. A few more messages that came through as I was closing out this reading, because your cards kept speaking even after the main story was told. There's a strong theme of recognition coming your way. Not just from strangers, but from people close to you who have watched you struggle quietly and are now going to see the shift in you. Someone is going to tell you, directly, that they admire how you've handled things lately. Let yourself receive that. Sagittarius, you're not always great at accepting praise. You tend to deflect it, laugh it off, change the subject. This time, let it land. I also see travel energy building around you, even if it's small. It doesn't have to be a big trip. It could be a weekend away, a change of scenery, a visit somewhere that makes you feel like yourself again. The cards show this will do more for your mental clarity than trying to think your way through everything while staying in the same environment. Sometimes your mind needs new air, not more analysis. There's a financial thread here too. Not a huge windfall, but a steady, quiet kind of stability starting to form, the sense of finally not having to worry every single day about money. It comes from consistency, from sticking to something you've already started rather than chasing something new. If you've been disciplined lately, even a little, that discipline is about to start paying off in ways you'll actually feel. On the emotional side, I keep seeing you laughing again. Real laughter, not the polite kind. Whatever heaviness has been sitting on your chest is lifting, and it's going to lift faster than you expect. You've been carrying something like it's permanent, and it isn't. Give it a few more weeks and look back at how different you feel. One more thing before I let you go, trust the timing of your life right now, even the parts that feel slow or uncertain. Sagittarius, you're someone who wants answers immediately, who wants to move fast once you've decided something. But some of what's unfolding for you needs a little more time to settle into place properly. Don't force conclusions today that the universe is still quietly working out behind the scenes. That's everything I have for you in this reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust that you're exactly where you need to be right now. Sagittarius, there's still more coming through for you, so let's keep going a little longer. I'm seeing a shift in how people perceive you right now, especially people who used to underestimate you. There's a card here showing someone who doubted your ability to pull through a certain situation, and now they're quietly watching you prove them wrong. You don't need to say anything to them. You don't need to make a point of it. Your results are going to speak for themselves, and that person is going to feel it without you ever bringing it up. There's also something interesting happening around a decision you've been putting off, something that isn't urgent but has been sitting in the back of your mind for a while. The cards are telling you that the moment you finally make that decision, even if it's a small one, a weight is going to come off your shoulders that you didn't even realize you were carrying. You've been treating this like it's more complicated than it actually is. Once you choose, you're going to wonder why you waited so long. I also want to talk to you about boundaries, because I keep seeing this theme repeat. There's someone in your life, maybe more than one person, who has gotten used to you always being available, always saying yes, always adjusting yourself to keep the peace. Sagittarius, this cycle is coming to an end. You're going to start saying no more easily, without guilt, without over-explaining yourself. And the people who genuinely care about you are going to respect that. The ones who don't respect it were never really respecting you to begin with. On a lighter note, I see something joyful showing up in your everyday routine, something small that brings you unexpected happiness. It could be a hobby you pick back up, a person who makes you laugh without even trying, or a moment that reminds you why you love your life even in the middle of stress. Don't dismiss these small moments as unimportant. They're actually going to be the thing that carries you through the busier weeks ahead. Lastly, I want to remind you that healing isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like a quiet Tuesday where nothing dramatic happens, but you notice you're not as anxious as you used to be. Sometimes it looks like sleeping better, or not overthinking a text message the way you used to. Pay attention to those quiet signs, Sagittarius, because they matter just as much as the big breakthroughs. That's everything for this part. Hold on to what feels true for you, and let the rest pass by.